We are looking at the walkthrough of the 7 steps of developing your team. And we are now at step number 6. And I'm walking you through step by step how we have practically used these principles and giving you some examples of ways that we've done it that have worked for us and how you can do it as well. So step number 6 is to place your name on the roles and the responsibilities for every single position until you develop your systems. Now I'm going to show you how we did that in this example. So right now, this again is you would place your name unless you have other people that are co-founding or also already a part of the ministry team that are able to help, or whatever the case may be. If you're starting by yourself, then you put your name. But if you have some partners, and you can put each other's names. But the key is you want to have someone's name on every single role. So on every role that's identified. So we've got our list of roles down here, and it looks like we got about 21 people. And then we've got our uh, our names here. And we find that based on the ones that people know how to do, we've got mom's name on some of these. She's a YouTube team leader. I'm teaching her how to lead the team and how to develop the people. And my name is on some of these because I have to learn, or I have to put together the systems on these. And then Kim is helping, Nikisha has helped, Norman is doing things, and Renelle and Rebecca, they've definitely helped with the thumbnails, so they have skills on those areas as well. Now, what you want to do is you want to identify the entry level position. Start at the very bottom of the org chart and start creating systems, document the process of the functions of these revolving tasks so that you can then replace yourself not with people but with systems that the most inexperienced person could follow. And so that's what we do. We have identified every role at what level they are into these different tiers or categories in the org chart. One is entry level, some is an intermediate level, maybe a little more skill, and then a team leader. All throughout our ministry, this is the basic structure of every position or role falls under one of these categories. You got the team leader, you have the manager who manages multiple team leaders, and then you have the director, and that director would direct multiple managers. And then you have the administrator, and that is someone who is able to uh, work together from the office or from headquarters of the Army of Youth, and they're able to direct the different field director, the publishing director, the different people that are in charge of an overarching head or work. Now, again, this is a big vision. We're dealing with thousands of people, and this army is we are desiring to finish the work. We know that the finishing of the work isn't going to be done through us exclusively, but by the harmonious working of the people of God. And because we have a big world to reach, this requires thousands of people to reach. And many people accomplish little because they attempt little. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever does. So we're going to aim high. And so we're going to put this in place as part of our primary aim. That's the structure of leadership that we see that we want to use. And then we're able to identify what are the entry-level positions and then go to work creating the systems to establish that. So in order to do that, we have this column over here about systems completed. These are the ones that we want to create. So for instance, we've got a video trimmer. Right now we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who actively know how to trim videos and have done it in the past and are proficient at it. So mom and I don't have to be trimming videos because there's other people who know how to do that. That's not something only we can do. We have replaced ourselves with this system here. And this takes us over to the system hub, and I'll show you what it looks like. This is a system that the written portion is not complete yet, but the video portion is ready to go. We've got a 13-minute video showing people step by step exactly how to trim the video so that they can do that as well. And some people are struggling in finding the exact minutia of how to stop at the very second they wanted. So we've got a 9-minute video showing them how to find the exact spot to trim. Between these two videos, doing the work for 13 plus 9 minutes long has replaced hours and hours and hours of our time where these young people these young people here have been able to be engaged in evangelism and winning souls for Christ, creating micro content, where otherwise they would have been at home idle, not really having as much meaning or purpose or a family or a ministry to be involved in, to call their own. So this system is really what has trained them how to take part in the evangelism work. These systems are powerful. And then there are other systems created. So we've got this system on converting YouTube videos to Anchor podcasts, and we've got a 14-minute video showing step by step how to do that. And once we have the video, it's a lot easier to write the steps out once it's recorded with audio or video. So this is a first step. We got the system, it's ready to go. Then it's just a matter of having Kim, who's able to follow the instructions on the video, and she's not going. See, that's 15 minutes that I didn't have to sit down with her, show her how to do it. And in the past, what I've had to do is I sit down with people, I show them how to do something, and then they maybe don't do it very frequently, or maybe time lapses, and they're like, how do I do that again? And then I sit down with them, show them how to do it. They batch out some work, they forget it, and then it's just real intense. Or maybe that person leaves and they take off. And let's say you train someone. We've had this in the past. We've trained some graphic designers to know how to make some graphics, do some social media images, and they've made extraordinary progress. But once they get equipped and they know how to do it, then they leave and they think, well, I'm going to go start my own ministry because I know how to do this. I'm going to start a ministry that does this. But then they realize there's a lot more to ministry than that they realize than just doing the technical work of, like, let's say graphic design. And then they get discouraged and like, well, I got to balance like family and work and time and church. And it's like, whoa. And so they shut down their ministry, and then they're kind of like wondering, well, I want to work for God, but I'm not sure how. But then all the time, the energy, the effort taken to train them how to do that, there was, before we started creating systems, there was nothing to show for ourselves. We were actually further behind than when we were ahead. And so once we started creating systems and allowing the systems to train the graphic designers, then they're able to get the education while we're asleep, or get the education while we're working on other things that only we can do. And they're learning, they're applying, and to train them takes no more effort than it did to train one person. This is the power of systematizing everything that you do. This is working in duplicatable ways, not just what works, but what duplicates. So as you see, this column here basically becomes our checklist. Then we're going to start with these entry-level positions first. Then we're going to move on to these intermediate level positions. As we create these systems, we're going to move up to different managerial levels, and the team leader, we're creating different systems for the team leader to grow and develop. And then when this is all developed with systems, you have yourself a sustainable, self-supporting ministry department or team that is able to work without you. Because that's the goal of that should be your goal as leaders. You want to make your team increasingly less dependent upon you. You want to make your ministry increasingly less dependent upon you, so that it can continue to grow without your active involvement every single waking time. So that these systems allow you to do that. And we also have a list of um, of who the role reports to. So it kind of shows who's responsible for who. this team leader. It shows that they're responsible for these people on the team. They help out a lot, and this is very helpful. So step number 6 is, once you have your list of roles and you've named them, what they need to be done with clear responsibility descriptions, then you put your name on each of those. You do the work until you're able to document the process of what needs to take place. And once it's documented, and only when it's documented, then you have replaced yourself with a system. With that system, you can then find the people that are able to fill the role that you're looking for. This is how you develop any team, any ministry, and establish a close-knit family and a well-working army to accomplish the work of God on earth. Next, we're going to look at finding the people that the passions fit with the responsibility.